How you doing? My name is Justin Hodge, and I'm going to be talking about the Civil Rights Movement. Events leading to the Civil Rights Movement. Dred Scott versus Sanford, the Emancipation Proclamation, the 14th Amendment gets passed, Plessy versus Ferguson, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, Montgomery bus boycotts, Civil Rights Act of 1964, Martin Luther King Jr., and the Equal Right Amendment passes in Congress. Dred Scott versus Sanford. In March of 1857, the Supreme Court came to a decision that Scott could not claim citizenship in the United States, which means he couldn't battle for his freedom. Scott lived in a free state before moving to Missouri, which was a slave state. Him being a slave, he felt that he should be free. The Emancipation Proclamation was a document Abraham Lincoln issued after the victory of the Union during the Civil War. The Emancipation Proclamation stated all slaves in the remaining slave states to be freed of the date of January 1st, 1863. The Emancipation Proclamation helped the battle for human freedom. The 14th Amendment passes. This amendment allowed citizenships to all persons born or naturalized in the United States, guaranteed equal protection of the laws, including the slaves. Along with two other amendments, the 14th Amendment will help establish civil and legal rights to the blacks. Plessy versus Ferguson. Plessy versus Ferguson was a U.S. Supreme Court decision that would get rid of racial segregation under the separate but equal doctrine. Plessy refused to sit in a train for blacks. The NAACP, also known as the National Association for Advancement of Colored People, was established in 1909. The NAACP is the largest and oldest civil rights organization in America. It was formed as the amount of violence against blacks began to spiral out of control around the country. The Montgomery bus boycott was a civil rights protest that happened when African Americans refused to ride the city bus because of segregated seating. Rosa Parks, who was famous for this, was arrested 4 days before the boycotting started because she wouldn't give up her seat on the bus to a white man. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibits discrimination in a number of settings: voting, public accommodations, public facilities, public education, federally assisted programs, and employment, and establishes the Federal Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. played a big role in the civil rights movement in the 1950s. He was one of the main reasons that the Montgomery bus boycott and the March on Washington took place. MLK sought for equality and human rights for the blacks before he was assassinated. Equal Rights Amendment was passed on March 22, 1972. Equal Rights Amendment was passed. The Equal Rights Amendment was provided for the legal equality of the sexes and prohibited discrimination based on the sexes. Hawaii was the first state to ratify the 27th Amendment during this time.